Women and young people of Badplaas in Mpumalanga are today receiving land. Could this see an improvement in food and job security in the province? What exactly are the recipients' plans? And eNCA's Khayelihle Khumalo is covering this story for us. Good afternoon and welcome from Mpumalanga, Khayelihle. Maybe just let us in on what exactly are developments on the ground there in Mpumalanga regarding this land.
Well, that's right, Notemba. So you can see that it started already in earnest. You can see the plantation is actually sprouting here. So these are some of the beneficiaries who are very happy about this particular initiative. So it's part and parcel of making sure that the province also deals with food security. So the Premier has also arrived of this particular province. So this is a very good initiative, very instrumental in fighting hunger in this part of Mpumalanga. So it's a very agricultural province. So you have quite a number of farmers in this area. So you can see that everybody's so happy about today. And, as you can see the visuals, they're quite clear that everybody is very ecstatic about this particular initiative. So in a minute or two, we'll have an opportunity to speak to the Premier about the importance. So you can see that the planting process is underway, but also it's a win-win situation because some of the produce here will be used by the state and the schools and many other state facilities. So by all accounts, it's quite a very important initiative, and it's all about making sure that this community does get something out of this experience. And the weather, it's really not in their favor, but most importantly, everybody that you have spoken to, they really welcome this initiative, and by all means, they're welcoming this particular initiative, Notemba. So the Premier is still down there as well, trying to plant, but we will speak to her as well. But in the national government as well, there's a deputy minister, and of course responsible for water. That's of course Mr. Mahlobo. In this area and of course in the country. But let's see if we can try to get a Premier. It's a bit of a very busy process here because everyone is down here and getting on this.
Maybe Khayelihle, while you're waiting to speak to the Premier, do you have probably an understanding of the reaction from the recipients of this land? Are they understanding what it will be used for? Are they excited? Do they have plans? Is it just for agricultural use, or is it land for them to also reside in, or even do other forms of, money-making activities?
So in the main, Notemba, this is just for agricultural purpose. So this is where they're going to plant. So it's really going to be a very good experience for them. We had an opportunity where we spoke to the beneficiaries, and they are really ecstatic about this initiative. So they do welcome it. They say it's going to really make a very enormous difference. And all of this comes, Notemba, South Africa is grappling with the issue of land expropriation without compensation. We saw Parliament, they've just given that particular committee looking at the amendment of Section 25 about 2 weeks prior to them coming to Parliament and table a report. So during the course of the day, we'll gauge a sentiment from the Premier in terms of how the province is doing to deal with the issue of the land question. We know it's a very emotive issue, and more often than not, it always creates all kinds of emotions, and this community as well, they certainly do welcome this initiative. But let's see if we can try and get a word or two from the Premier All right. Good day to you, Madam Premier. Just tell us about the importance of today.
Well, this is a very, very important day for us as the Mpumalanga province. As you know that we are an agricultural province. We are here to say to launch a project where we are saying that let us green Mpumalanga so that we can preserve food within the country. So this is quite a good initiative that we are launching today. As you are seeing, we are planting quite almost 1,200 hectares today for the beneficiation of the local communities and also the chiefs around the area. So we are very much grateful in partnering with our chieftaincies within these areas. They have given us land that we can utilize for food security within their communities. Now, what is important as well is that as we do this, already this market, this cultivation already has the market in a form of school nutrition. The Department of Education, the Department of Health, they are readily available to purchase from these women, and out of it they will make a living. So we are really much grateful for this program. This is a good initiative that we are prepared to take across the length and the breadth of the province. So yes.
Okay, and just once again, Premier, we know that South Africa is seized with the issue of land restitution, you know, the issue around expropriation of land without compensation. What's the feeling in Mpumalanga? You say it's a very agriculturally inclined province. How are people feeling about that issue?
Well, our position is clear. We are saying let the land go back to the people, so that they can utilize it fruitfully as we are doing right now. Now, if that doesn't happen, we are restricted in terms of women development, women empowerment, and in particular, the black people who were disadvantaged previously. So as you can see, there is that willingness and kindliness to work the land as we are doing. It's not just a PR exercise of just having a land and put it to spoil. So we want that land to utilize this for what it is intended for the betterment of this country and for the betterment of the people of Mpumalanga. So we are working, of course, very closely with the Department of Agriculture. They have donated about 8,903 hectares of land, of which we've already allocated to our farmers, and they're doing a sterling job in that regard. We are partnering with them, we are supporting them. We are women business. We want people to plant so that they can make a living out of it.
And just once again, Madam Premier, in terms of the beneficiaries, how many people in this area are projected to benefit from this project?
Well, this project is in the 4 phases. Ultimately, the people that will benefit when we get to 4th phase, it would be in a region of about 36,000 people who would be benefiting. But at this point in time, we are benefiting about 348 of our communities, which would be full-time employed here. And out of that, we do have those ad hoc workers that come seasonally. So they would be in a region of about 800 and something as a phase 1 project. And of course, there are estimations that we are looking at in terms of the net income that we will be getting out of this. And the bigger portion thereof will go to the communities that are working this land. So ultimately, when we complete this project, we've worked on an estimate of about 1.4 billion, of which out of that 1.4 billion at phase 4, 937 million will be given to the beneficiaries as they have already worked, and this is their project. They need to own up to this so that we make the success out of this project.
And just before I let you go, Premier, I know you're down on the floor. It hasn't been a very easy time with coronavirus. Food security has been a big concern. What does this mean for this community? I would imagine it's not really a very economically strong area. So is it going to make a difference in terms of food security, among other things?
Definitely, it has been very difficult. The situation has been dire, and we had to come up with ways and means in terms of our economic recovery as to how do we resuscitate our economy so that ultimately it benefits our communities in particular. So that, as you know, that we've shed a lot of jobs to a tune of about 80,000, according to State South Africa, as Mpumalanga province. Now, our stronghold, when we look at it, it's in agriculture. Hence, we are saying, let us harness agriculture and make sure that we intensify it so that our people are benefiting. This is quite a rural area, and in the main, people around here are mainly dependent on government, and therefore, if you bring this initiative to them, you know, you have somehow shed off the heavy load that government is carrying in terms of people, community members having to depend on grants. So we are hoping that this initiative, it will not just end here in Chief Albert Lithule, Khartsibande. We are rolling it out even in Kangala. As we speak, we've already started in eMalahleni, where we have worked the land, 12 hectares land already. And we've already identified other land pockets around Ehlanzeni district, where we will be dealing with citrus trees as well. So that in the main, ultimately, our people does benefit. The school nutritional program, whatever that we need, we get it out of our own gardens.
All right, Madam Premier, thank you so much indeed, and for your patience down on the floor. So that's the Premier of Mpumalanga really talking about the importance of this initiative, Natemba, for this community as well, but also alluding to the impact of coronavirus. The province alone just shed about 80,000 jobs. So without a shadow of a doubt, this is really going to be a very helpful exercise in alleviating the plight of the residents here.